Following the video I made on my super sturdy DIY camera crane for GoPro, a few people asked if I would put together a tutorial on how to make my quadpod. First off, you need wood. I'm using 35mm sustainably sourced pine strip. You'll need 8 meters, and the longer the length you buy, the cheaper it will be. You can ask your local wood shop to cut this down for you. You will also need an offcut of plywood about 15 cm square and 16 M8 bolts about 6 cm in length, with wing nuts and washers. When selecting your wood, sight along its sides to make sure it's not got any splits as here, or it's warped. Don't go and buy any boomerangs or bananas. Lots of places don't store their wood very well, so check each piece and buy the best bits you can find. There are 3 parts: the legs, the cross brace and the top. Each leg is made up of 2 lengths about 71 cm long and 1 length about 41 cm long. Using a piece of scrap, measure 2.5 and 7.5 cm from the end and mark the middle of the wood. If your marks land on the grain of the wood, flip the piece over and try the other side, as the grain is harder than the rest of the wood and can throw your drill bit off, and you want both holes to be in line and in the middle of the wood. I'm using an 8mm wood bit to drill the holes, as it has a nice point which makes finding the centre more accurate. You can also use it to mark the hole before you drill. I'm using a pillar drill because it's more accurate to drill a vertical hole, but you can use a hand drill. Once you've drilled 2 holes, A and B, clamp this piece of scrap to the end of 1/2 of one of your legs, and using it as a guide, drill 2 holes into the leg. Now, using a spare 8mm drill bit as a peg in hole A, move the piece of scrap along the leg, drilling through hole B. This will make all your holes exactly the same distance apart. Drill a hole at the other end using the same process. This leg piece now forms your master pattern for all the others. I use a lot of double-sided tape to hold things that I'm making together. Lay strips of tape on each element of the leg and assemble the leg, leaving the middle part protruding the same distance each time. Now stick your master on top and secure it with tape. Use this as a guide to drill holes along each leg. For the cross brace, tape 2 pieces together and drill 3 holes each side using the same technique as before. Then saw a slot halfway into the middle of each piece. I always tape pieces together because it means I only have to measure and mark once to get 2 pieces exactly the same. Cut the tape off and slot the 2 parts together to form a cross. The top is made in the same way, glued and screwed to the square of ply using countersunk screws. Just make sure the angles are 90 degrees using a square. It would also be easy to make this as a tripod, which would be much better as it would use less material, so would be lighter and cost less, and it would be cheaper to change the M8 bolts to M6s. All you need to do now is fit whatever you want to the top. A super smooth camera panning device, a camera boom for a GoPro, or even a tabletop. Thanks for watching, and if you want to see what I do next, please hit subscribe.